All right, now that I got the dually finally wrapped up, you can see here we've started working on the white single cab Duramax. I already got the bed at the body shop. That's going to be getting painted. Cab's going to be getting dropped off next week. And I already power washed the whole frame. It's amazing the amount of dirt that these things build up. You see it's pretty clean now. So we're going to be going over how to remove the stock hangers and installing the new hanger there from mcgaughys drop hanger. And you get a comparison here, the size difference, how much higher that hole is going to sit. So we'll install these, see how much lower they get me. I already have a 2-inch drop shackle in the back, and I know they have a 3-inch, so I'll see if I need to go lower in the back to make it level. And you could also remove your overload leaf and it'll probably get you another inch. So we'll see where the drop hanger gets us, and we'll go over how to remove them. I haven't really seen any video of a 2500. Most of them are 1500s. So I'll set the phone up and we'll start cutting the rivets out, and probably just cut a cross in the rivet and then air hammer them out. And we're probably gonna have to drop the gas tank for this side. So let's get started. Here's what's included in the kit of the mcgaughy kit. All you get is the hangers, new U-bolts in case you do remove your overload leaf springs, and I'll go over which ones you have to remove and which ones you don't, and the bolts to assemble it. This kit is cheaper than the DJM kit, but the DJM kit does come with bump stops, and it does come with a rear shackle that this kit does not come with, but the DJM kit does not come with these. So if you do remove your overload leaves, you're gonna have to buy new U-bolts. So you just gotta weigh out your options. I already had the rear shackles, so I figured I'd go with this kit, and the DJM kit was also out of stock. And with the rear overload leaves, they are not talking about this leaf here. On some of the 3500s, you're gonna have an overload leaf that goes on the top, and you're gonna have a bracket that goes on these 4 holes and a bracket that goes on these 4 holes that my dually did have. That is what you have to remove. This leaf does nothing for that kit. It doesn't even know it's there. The only thing, if you want to remove it, it'll give you that extra inch of drop, but then you are getting rid of your overload leaf, which I'm going to be putting probably helper bags on this truck anyways, so we'll see how low it gets me. If I don't have to mess with it, I ain't gonna mess with it. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by removing the front bolts on the leaves, getting it to hang. I already got jack stands under the cab and under the axle. I'll probably support the front of the diff because it is heavy. I know sometimes when you let it go it does fall down, so I'm going to support the front of that there, and then we'll start cutting them out. And it's a 24 millimeter and a 15/16 to remove the front nut. another jack here to support the leaf. While we take the bolt out, a little bottle jack. I'm gonna cut the nub off the bolt to make it easier to remove. See what will come out now. Let me show you guys what I did here. So I didn't remove the gas tank all the way. Here's the front bolt. I just loosened the front bolt all the way. Took the back strap off, and the bolts are up through here on this side of the frame. You can see the back strap hanging there. You're gonna have to take this piece off first. It has 4 millimeters and it clips in on the other side, and you can see how much crap got in there. This used to be an old North Carolina fire truck, so the whole frame was that bad. So got that side out. Let me get the other side out, and then we'll start cutting this out. Let's start cutting. Alright, I got a notch cut in all of them. Definitely going to want to wear some hearing protection because it definitely gets loud. And this is the gun with the chisel tip that you're going to want to use to break them off. See if I can separate the top, and now I'll start punching the rivet. side by side so you can see the difference. There you can see how much higher the front of that leaf's gonna mount to. So now we gotta drive out all the little pieces of rivet stayed in the frame, and then I'm gonna leave it like this, paint everything, and then I'm gonna be installing the new ones. I'm gonna clean it up, do the other side, paint the frame, and then I'll come back. All right, I got everything cleaned up and out of the way that needs to be removed to get a nice coat of paint. And we're gonna start spraying the paint. Here's the frame done. There's some overspray on the cab, but like I said, the truck's getting painted, so I'd rather do this now before the paint. If I get any overspray on the frame, I'd rather get overspray on the frame than the body of the truck. So it came out pretty good. I mean, there's some areas on the bottom that I didn't get too good just because of the gun and the length of it. I mean, it's not to be a show truck, it's just another daily, so I just wanted to look better. I'm probably gonna finish painting that muffler black with high heat paint. It looks terrible. Still deciding if I want to do a straight pipe or not. Kind of like how quiet it is, but it is kind of nice to have a little bit of noise, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but it came out pretty good. So let me hang the hangers. We can put that gas tank back up. All right, the frame is pretty much dry to the touch now, so let's start putting the hangers on. Alright, once all the bolts are started, you can tighten them down. Alright, I'm gonna go tighten the other side and then I'll come back and we'll start putting the bolts in. This is one thing that drives me crazy about all these hanger kits. This is about the second or third one I've done. I don't know why they don't just include a shorter bolt, the right length. As you see here, it hits. So I'm cutting it right here. That's gonna look like it works. I'm cutting about a 1/4 inch of thread off. because on the other side I already cut this and it was still too long. So I'm gonna cut there, see what we gotta do, maybe I'll grind a little bit shorter, but how much could it possibly be extra to include, you know, 2 bolts? So let me get these cut. All right, so as you can see here, I cut 1/4 inch of threads off. Also make sure your nut spins on easy before you try to install it and find out the threads are messed up. So let's try to jack it up and get the bolt in. You're gonna have to put the nut in before you put the bolt all the way through. There's not much space back there. It's not rubbing the frame, so that's good. Here, I'll show you guys how close it is back there. You can see it's pretty tight, but it has just enough space from that nut to the frame. So that was the perfect size there. Set up on the other side. Bolt length is good. There you can see just how much more stuff has come off that gas tank. I'm gonna hose everything down, clean the tray, start bolting it back together. Alright, so make sure that the nut insert is centered in the hole there. That's what was happening while the bolt was starting. Let's see if it'll go now. Yep, there we go. Got it. little tabs that go in this groove, and then it slides up and bolts on with these 4 bolts. Almost forgot to put the shocks. I got the DJM Cow Max, the 2200 and 2400. 2400 is going to go on the passenger side, 2200 is going to go on the driver's side. It's time. Definitely looks much lower. Before we had 7 1/4 from the frame to the top of the axle tube. Now we got 5. Looks like we got rid of another 2 inches. Yep. So it's 2 inches lower with the front, 2-inch drop shackles in the back, total of 4. So we'll see how it looks later once the bed's on and stuff like that. We'll see if I'll go with the longer hangers. So far it looks pretty good. Definitely gonna have to cut the bump stops up and see if there's gonna be enough space to mount that airbag in there. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video. Do a quick little walk around so you can see the gap. You can see how close the bump stop is now. But before, from here to here, I had 7 1/4. Now I have 5 1/4. So the hangers gave me another 2 inches. I'll check my pinion angle tomorrow. You can see the new shocks, even with that washer, I should have put 2. It still pinched it a little bit. But it looks much better all black. Not so much dirt. I'll post a picture of how it all looked when we first pulled the bed off here. So I got some mini bags that I'm going to be trying to mount in that gap there. So we'll see if they fit. And if I could go lower, I'll go lower. If I can't, I'll have to stay. So that's it for this video. Tomorrow we're going to be changing the steering box in the front and off to the body shop. Make sure you like and subscribe to follow the single cab Duramax build.